you knit or crochet and you're running out of supplies because, hypothetically speaking, maybe you're stuck in your house and can't leave, this is a great way to make new materials. Also, hypothetically speaking, the grocery stores might not let you bring your reusable bags anymore, so you have a lot of extra plastic bags you wouldn't normally have. So today we'll learn how to do something with them. Hi there! I'm Michelle with the Goffstown Public Library, where I'm an adult services librarian. My job is to bring the information you want or need to you when you want or need it. And even though I'm not physically in the library today, I hope I can do just that, which is why I'm coming to you with a how-to video. How to make Plarn. Plarn is plastic yarn brought together in one word, and it's pretty easy to make. For materials, we're going to need two things: plastic bags and scissors. So I've got a couple different kinds of plastic bags here today. I've got one that a newspaper came in. It's number 4 plastic. And I've got one that used to be the plastic packaging that comes in packages. You know what packaging comes in. So we'll use both of these to cut today. You could also use the grocery store plastic bags, tablecloths, anything that is plastic can be turned into Plarn. So we'll get started first with the newspaper bag. One of the easiest ways to cut Plarn is to make loops. So you see how the bag naturally makes a loop. We want to keep that intact. So instead of cutting the long way, we're going to cut the short way to keep those loops intact. So the first thing I'm going to do is fold the bag a couple times. So I make a folded bag, and I'm going to cut off the edge that's connected. Just maybe a millimeter worth, just these little extra plastic scraps. I don't want to waste too much. I just don't want it to be connected when I start this next bit. If I had a really long bag, or I wanted to make sure it stayed folded, I could put some clothespins or chip bag clips along the sides to keep it, but I don't have a very long piece of plastic, so this should work fine. I'm now going to take my scissors and cut about every inch. You don't want to go under a ½ inch for the Plarn. It'll be a lot thinner than normal yarn that you use, and it's never going to be up to like a bulky weight yarn for any project. So an inch should give you about a standard weight yarn. And as you see, very easy, just going down the line. I'm not even being especially straight. That's quite crooked. But it doesn't matter. All these recycled materials, they are not meant to look polished. If you were feeling especially attentive to detail, you could mark out with a ruler and maybe a permanent marker where to cut, but again, I'm just freeballing here. Okay, so when I'm done cutting, I have all these rings of plastic. To combine them, I'm gonna take 2 rings, make a Venn diagram of sorts, and then bring my right-hand side through the middle of the Venn diagram, like so, and pull. What I now have looks almost like a bow with the knot in the middle, and this will make one continuous piece of yarn, which is really great. You won't have any extra pieces hanging off, no ends to tuck in or to weave in at the end of your project. And it also makes it easy that if you want to change colors, you can just hook another piece to your project on. Again, I'm making a Venn diagram, pulling the right side through, and tightening. So I'll go through a couple of those now. Some tips with working with plastic yarn: you don't want to pull too hard. The plastic is not as strong as the traditional acrylic yarn that you're probably used to working with if you already knit or crochet. So you want to keep your tension pretty light. Additionally, plastic yarn is very hard to learn with. So if you're new to knitting or crocheting, you might not want to start your first project with plastic yarn. I'd instead look for some acrylic yarn or another material like cotton or wool. And last but not least, okay, so we put the whole newspaper together. So my arm span is about 5'6". So from one newspaper bag, we've made more than 10 feet of material. So maybe 12 feet of material, which that's great. That'll be a good start for a project of mine. I'm gonna go ahead and roll that up into a ball. So that's the first ball of Plarn that I was able to make. I can make Plarn in another way using a different linking method. So I'm going to take my packaging, the plastic packaging, and I'm going to cut it in strips as well. This time I'm not going to worry if it makes a loop. This would also work if you were using, for example, tablecloths, plastic tablecloths, because they don't have a natural loop to them. So I'm going to just start cutting my plastic bag into, again, strips that aren't under 1/2 inch. It'll make the yarn way too thin to work with. Okay. And one more. Great, so now that I don't have loops, I'm gonna have to do something different. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take the end of one side and fold it over probably 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to take my scissors and make a 1/4 inch slit at the end. So I've made a hole into my plastic. I'm going to do the same thing on the other end. I'm going to do this for all my pieces, but right now I'll just do it on 2 to show you how I'm going to join them. So I make my slits, both ends. That one's a little tricky. Now I have 2 pieces that I can join together. So I'm going to take one slit and thread my second piece of plastic through the slit. Just enough so I've unearthed the second piece of plastic slit. Then I'm going to take the second piece's tail end and thread it through the top of its slit. So I'm going to pull to make another knot. So it's similar to that bow shaped, but if we make the slits too long, we're going to have these uneven edges where they don't completely come together. It's going to give the finished piece more of a raggedy look. So if that's what you're going for, great. If you want more of the clean look, you're definitely going to want to do the loop in the bow method. This, like I said, more raggedy, definitely more recycled looking. But there's nothing wrong with that. Different projects call for different looks. So I'm going to go ahead and do the slit and pull method for the rest of these. What projects are plastic yarn good for? Baskets are a really great one, especially if the baskets are going to be used outside. So if you're going to bring them to the beach, plastic yarn, really great thing. I'm using mine to carry gardening materials because it's going to get really dirty. Plastic yarn is also good for making bed rolls for people experiencing homelessness, for making flip-flops, for making backpacks and beach bags. All right, and that's the last one. So from the 2 pieces of packaging, I've made about, I don't know, 5 feet of yarn. So that'll take me a little while to get through. So I'll roll that into a ball and set it aside. I appreciate you spending time with us today. We learned how to make plastic yarn through the loop and bow method, plus the slit and pull method, creating 2 different effects in our finished material. One smooth and one a bit raggedy. There's a lot of different patterns available on the internet for free if you're interested in making something with your plastic yarn. If you're interested in making the basket that I'm making, that's the Brady basket. I searched for that in Creative Bug, our library's crafting service. So it's a database of different craft classes and it takes you step by step through the different crafts. This one, the Brady basket, taught me everything I needed to know about working in the round in crochet, making the basket, adding the sides, and I'm looking forward to getting to the last video, which is how to make the handles of the basket. So that's available at Creative Bug. You can find that through the Goffstown Library website, goffstownlibrary.com, or in the link in the description. All you need is your library card to start accessing those really cool classes. On top of crocheting, they also have knitting classes, painting, cake decorating. It's a world of creativity over there. I hope you'll check them out after you're done with this video. If you got something out of this video, please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe for new how-to videos every Wednesday at 5, and for things like book talks, life skills, and story times available from all our Goffstown Public Library staff. Again, I'm Michelle from the Goffstown Public Library, and I'll check you out later. Bye!